welcome everyone to another episode of Bozzelli's TV, the most interesting wine channel on the internet. Why are we the most interesting wine channel on the internet? Because we consider wine a
food.
Thank you to perennial special guest star Holly Rocco Ferracci of Republic National Distributing Company, a company with a lot of words in their name, like big words, but we love them because it's a top 10 place to work and also the second largest distributor in the nation. So as you guys know, Holly and I forgot to introduce myself because I'm so excited today, guys. Why? Because we are meeting with a rockstar brand today. And that word is used very loosely these days, rockstar. But truly, the man behind this wine is a rock star. He managed like Danish rock bands where like they're really serious about rock in Europe. Like we're talking tassels, whips, and leather. I'm stoked. But I am Mike Bozzelli, your host today. And there are a few themes with our show. And I know you watch our show and you probably are well familiar with the themes now, but one of the major themes of our show that this is not the Cali Cab show. We want to broaden your palate. Wait, are we tasting Cabernet today?
We are, but we're not
Cali.
We are in Washington State. Yes.
Well, see, she just tied into the theme right there. Heather Shapiro of
House of Smith Wines.
House of Smith Wine by Charles Smith, rock star. Truly a rock star. I fell in love with his Velvet Devil maybe 15 years ago now. I was in Richmond, Virginia. This man single-handedly made Merlot great again. Like, I was like, this is not Merlot. I was like, what did you give me? You ordered the Merlot, sir. I was like, oh my God, this tastes amazing. But since then, a lot has transpired. But he has done a lot for wine and for our show. And one of the themes is broaden your palate. Don't just drink Cali Cabs. He single-handedly made Merlot great again. He single-handedly put Washington State on the map of the wine world. And he's an iconoclast, and we love that. We just love challenging convention on this show. I think Holly is in that camp.
Absolutely.
I know Heather's in that camp because she works for Charles Smith. So we're really stoked today, and we want to welcome Heather to the show. Heather, as you know, because I know you watch our show, I don't know about you guys, you can smash that like button a little more. Heather, how'd you get your start in the wine business, and how'd you end up with an awesome house like House of Smith?
Yeah, I mean, I think like all of us, and kind of sit at this table as we all enjoy wine and spirits. So it kind of made sense at an earlier age to kind of knock into the business, working with the distributor, tending behind bar, working in restaurants, and just realized that the dysfunctional family was my community. I didn't see any other path but continuing to stay in the beverage business. And so fortunately, really, through different suppliers and wearing different hats throughout the distributor in different states, I've landed here with House of Smith, and it couldn't be more of a perfect fit. I mean, I always just say we're just kind of a rad company. We are House of Smith, as we're all are dysfunctional, know how to have great time, sell amazing wine in our house of what we call the House of Smith. So.
And you come out from behind the bar a lot. That's the kind of culture I see at House of Smith. They come out from behind the bar. For those of you that are in the restaurant business, that's kind of a thing, coming out from behind the bar. But yeah, and so Wait, Holly just came out from behind the bar too. Case in point. There you go. That's why she's a perennial special guest. But really excited, and Heather, let's get started because we have so many delicious wines to taste today. I know because I am a huge Charles Smith supporter, and maybe as we're tasting, you could update us on what's new at Charles Smith. I think there's some misconceptions out there since there was a transaction with this behemoth that we love because Christy Atwood works there at Constellation Brands. There was a transaction between Charles Smith and Constellation, but I didn't know. I mean, it looks like they bought some things and Charles is still in the game and doing his thing, and I'm really excited. Heather just told me a few minutes ago, so please share with our viewership. And we can start pouring whenever you like.
Yeah, let's, why don't we go ahead and open the pop-up, and as we do that, I'll kind of talk through, I mean, it's kind of perfect.
Holly's the bubblehead.
It's perfect timing as we open up the pop-up and talk about new projects versus where Charles was and some of the projects that he has sold throughout his time. I mean, just kind of backing up a little bit as I talk about my background and people at the table. For Charles, he had always been in the hospitality business. At 19 years old, he's split between Palm Springs and Napa and worked behind the bar of Ritz-Carlton, always in the hospitality business. Then, as we had said, he then decided to go ahead and manage bands throughout Europe. As you can imagine, for a decade of that, it was quite an experience, but it came back to Charles wanting to get back to Walla Walla and with the idea of making wine. So in 1999, he wanted to come to Walla Walla. He had a vision of creating wine. He asked a friend for a $5,000 loan. Really nice friend gave him some money and was able to produce the first case of K. Wittner's Syrah, which was about 300 cases that he winded up selling out of his Astro van. So if we want to talk about from
Astro,
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. If you want to talk about someone that's just an entrepreneurial and just takes a look at being really creative, this is where we're at with Charles. Just the shorter length of people may know in the market brands such as House Wine. This is a brand that Charles did create, but in 2006, this is what he sold that to Precept Wine, which is a supplier. He no longer touches that brand, makes any of the wine, just a project he created. Same goes for, we're talking about Velvet Devil, for the Kung Fu Girl. Those brands of Charles Smith brand wines were all sold into Constellation in 2016. So he had a quick go at it. I mean, it was 2004, 2006 sold, 2008 created Charles & Charles, and then sold 2016 to Constellation. This all provided the foundation for Charles to really spend time, as we call, with the house. And the brands that we're tasting today are the wines of House of Smith. He will never create wines just to create wines. There's always magical thinking behind what Charles creates.
I like that idea. We don't just make wine to make wine and sell it. There's heart and passion in every bottle.
Yeah. And we're small production. As a winery, we're only about 300,000 cases. People will usually get a little sidetracked when I say that number, just because you see the impact of our brands and the names such as Charles Smith. No, I mean, the wines that we're looking at the table here, I mean, we'll go through them. It's just really small production. But yeah, if it's okay, I'm going to dive into the pop-up here. I mean...
Yes, let's dive into the pop-up.
Yeah, this is a really cool project.
Cool! We're rocking! Holly, maybe we'll just kill this laptop right there. Yeah, you can just exit out of that. Save it. Just save it. Yeah, and cool. And then we can just close that guy, and we're just gonna go to our trusted iPhone.
We'll roll with the iPhone here.
But we were rocking just a second because we're hanging out with rock stars today. Heather Shapiro.
Let's do it.
Love it. That's fine, Holly. It could stay there. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know if y'all noticed when we opened up the pop-up with Holly, we had a crown cap, so we're not trying to be super fancy. Pop-up for us is, the sense of immediacy, right? So when Charles thinks of anything that's crown cap, how he explains this wine is an IPA is in a crown cap, right? And so he's like, anything with a crown cap that I'm opening, he's like, I'm gonna drink the whole damn bottle.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna drink the whole damn bottle. So we are, because it comes off a 1,300 acre vineyard. It's about 800 feet elevation. What you'll know about Brennan Layton, our VP of Viticulture, and Charles Smith is they do high elevation plantings, which is kind of unheard of sometimes when you go through some of the varietals, but they love that part of kind of, tricking some things up and really making it work. This is all native fermentation. All our wines on the table is native fermentation. What I mean by that, there's no strains of yeast in our winery whatsoever. So other wineries in comparison may say, hey, I want a grapefruit flavoring sort of Sauvignon Blanc. We don't have any kind of strains to make it. What you have in the bottle is all from the land. So it is the grape, the vessel it rests in, to the bottle, to your glass. So Charles is a true purist at form for winemaking.
I love how she's hammering all this home. You guys better start buying, or at least start smashing the like button. Mm-hmm. Wow, and this pop-up really does have pop, Holly. Holly's studying for her WST, something really important that I always forget what it stands for, but
she's smart.
she's
Very,
super smart.
very.
Holly, a lot of pop in here. What other tasting notes can we share with our viewership?
Yeah, so it's made with Chardonnay. So you definitely, you get the characteristics of Chardonnay here with like the green apple and pear and
I was gonna say pear too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of green apple and pear, lots of bubbles. I mean, they're just, rolling.
Super clean.
Yeah,
A lot
very
of bubbles.
clean.
It's not easy to make sparkling. I understand, like prosecco type. Is that a fair statement? We've met with winemakers on the show.
And it's definitely, to make sparkling wine, it's definitely a longer process,
Okay.
right? Because you have to undergo a secondary fermentation.
There you
Whether
go.
you're doing it in stainless steel tank or if you're fermenting in bottle.
Two-step process,
yeah,
guys.
it's definitely a longer process, so that kind of factors into the price of sparkling, typically speaking, because it is a more engaged process.
Huge knowledge bomb there, guys. That's why you pay a little bit more for prosecco, champagne because the real
for
estate.
sure, yeah, any kind of sparkling. But I mean, the beauty I think of Charles Smith wines is that he's definitely making them approachable to consumers, and so fantastic minimalist approach, natural approach, but not a price point that's going to eliminate a lot of buyers from.
The guy
being
used
able
to be a
get
waiter.
them.
The guy used to be a waiter. Mad love. I mean, like, big heart, amazing guy.
Very big heart. You bring up a really good point. The thing about Charles is he has a very, very big heart. Everything he touches, the people that he crosses paths with, he genuinely cares for. I mean, for all of his people at the company, House of Smith, but just generally anytime you meet him, he really just is just full of so much.
I've seen him in his tasting room on YouTube, and the guy is just so like down to earth with everyone that walks by. He's like eating a pizza. You want a bite? You want a sip? Or he's drinking some of his pop. He's like, you want a sip? Or, I'm good, man. I go buy some at the bar.
That sounds about right. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, we're traditional wines with contemporary winemaking, and yeah, we really keep the costs down. I mean, we really want to make the wines approachable, but again, also just thinking about, that native fermentation and no residual sugar. If you're looking for wines really in its purest form, you'll definitely find it through all of his wines throughout the portfolio.
This is not too sweet for my palate.
Oh no, it's dry.
It's
dry.
It's dry, but not overly dry, not overly extracted. Wow, kudos, Charles. I mean, how many points do you want to drop on this? Holly, who's, like I said, soon to be a master of wine. I'm not gonna drop any points because I just talk trash. But and this is my show. How many points would you drop on this, Holly?
How many points on a score perspective?
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, I love sparkling, but a score of 100 being tops. I mean, we're definitely in the 90 range with this.
Totally.
For sure.
She just dropped 90 points on you guys. That's a lot for a sparkling.
92.
Yes. 92. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
She
let's
just-
kinda get that in
She just
there.
hit another jumper. Now she dropped 92 on you guys.
That's it.
I saw it
That's
coming. I saw it coming because this does taste like a 92-point
Yeah,
sparkling.
got
This
it.
will definitely be on casewinelife.com. Free shipping on most
And it's
cases.
from ancient lakes of Columbia Valley, so you get a really cool, another sub-appellation of Columbia Valley. You can impress your friends by having a wine from somewhere they've never heard of before,
Without a doubt.
right?
Pull out the map.
Yeah.
I think the pop-up, Heather, and I love it, and that's why your company and Charles is just so astute at marketing and understanding our desire to consume. That was just some plussing going on there with this pop-up. You didn't need that pop-up. Kat,
We never
I get it.
need anything. What it is Charles and Brennan create, right? So that's exactly it. We never need.
Boom!
I mean, we don't.
Boom! I love that.
It's but with Charles, right? I mean, if he had done the whole mushroom cork and the foil and everything, right?
Never.
That can intimidate people. People
Yes,
see
for
that
sure.
and they're like, ooh, like
This is immediacy.
This is just this is immediate.
I love that.
Access and easy. It's not intimidating. Everybody knows a crown cap. You can use a beer opener and
I think you have something out of that on the sandal. They could just open it right up.
Yeah.
No, Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, ladies, because I do feel like a lot of people are intimidated by sparkling with all the
absolutely
foil
Yeah.
at the top of the neck.
Yeah.
But so, hey, you out the gate, home run, 92 points, Heather.
Solid. I can keep batting it up. I have no fear what's on this table.
No doubt. And I'm
we'll
looking at these
keep
prices
going.
too. Did you verify these with accounting? Because they're blowing my mind. Oh my God, we could pass along a lot of savings to you guys. Just go on Case Wine Life. Everything's going to be up there shortly. So what's next?
Let's roll out with the Vino Rose. So this is a brand we call by House of Smith. This is our Vino Rose, which is 100% Sangiovese. People are like, wait, Sangiovese,
That's
Washington
Italian.
State.
That's Italian.
Yeah, so this is a thing that Charles is really good at, thinking about Italian-inspired, locally produced varietals. This wine is, I would say, really bomb, really fresh. We're really just kind of looking at Sangiovese again, and most people look at it, it's just such a beautiful, palish, delicate color. It's really just, again, bright, not allowing anything to...
See, Tolly taught me this trick. You put a white
Yeah.
piece of
White
paper
underneath it.
behind
There
your
you go.
glass,
This is
Heather, and you could appreciate
Fancy,
that color.
yes.
very
Yes.
really pretty ballet slipper pink. Right? You can
Beautiful.
go with that?
Yes, I can roll with that.
So I remember selling vino in our little deli, at least a decade ago. This has been on the market for some time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has been.
We're either
Okay.
on our like 6th vintage of this. Yep.
6 vintages. Okay, there you go. I said almost a decade. All right, there you go. And it never sits on the shelf. I never tasted it though, so I'm stoked.
That's super fun. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're looking again, like Holly was saying, of trying a varietal Sangiovese, which is not indigenous to Washington State, and seeing a winemaker, and we'll go through some other Italian varietals in Washington State, really just hit the mark with planting Italian varietals in Washington State. It's not an easy task, but I think we follow through with some serious stuff in this.
So delicious, Heather. I'm sorry to interrupt, but so delicious.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's really just a great patio pounder, but also can really, hold up really well to some appetizers at the house or out to dinner. Yep.
So, I love this show. In this show, we also expand your verbiage. So, I would have said crowd pleaser, but patio pounder. Patio pounder it is.
Thirsty, sure.
We get thirsty on the patios, people. It's not just a crowd
Or if
pleaser.
you have a porch, it's okay. Say porch pounder.
It's a porch pounder, patio pounder. Christy Atwood likes to say couch pounder, but that's not this show. This is
You could do that with this too.
even though on YouTube you have to declare if this show is for kids or not. I never do, because we want everyone to be of age when they're drinking, of course, and we want everyone to drink responsibly. But it is a pounder. Thank you, delicious.
Yeah.
Let me see this price.
And I also just want to point out too that Charles was flabbergasted when he created this wine. He was looking for the name of it, and he obviously picked Vino. He was flabbergasted that nobody in the globe had ever named their wine, trademarked their name Vino. Brilliant.
So I love the reductionist thinking there. And this is not easy. Everyone thinks like this is easy. You just put vino on a bottle. No, a lot of creativity went into that. A lot of countercultural thinking, Holly, right? Very unconventional. That's another theme of the show, as you know, it's like, well, the main theme is that Italian wines have been so marginalized by the marketing prowess of California and now Washington. Start taking notes, Italy. Okay, we're the land of wine, but we sell wine better over here. Let's start taking notes. How do you feel about that, Holly? Or am I just on this like crazy tantrum right now?
Washington State is growing. I mean, they're doing really well. The people are enjoying their wines, and there's a reason for that with Washington State. I mean, they have an amazing climate for grape growing. They've really been blessed. They have that what we need with grape growing. You need diurnal temperature swings, so they have sunny, hot days and cool nights, temperature, big drops in temperature, so you get the optimal fruit ripeness, and then you also build up acidity. Like Heather mentioned, that makes it tough for Sangiovese because Sangiovese is delicate, and so it can get sunburned really easily, and so you've got to do a lot of pruning and canopy management to make sure your Sangiovese doesn't get ruined. But so it's definitely like a harder grape to grow, especially in a climate like Washington State. But just fantastic environment, producing really nice fruit-forward wines that have good structure to them. But the tannins, like in red wines, the tannins are always going to be kind of softer. And that's what people really enjoy, with red wines. That's an approachable style. You don't have to, some of these wines will age as long as, we'll talk about the K Vintners line. Some of these wines can age, for decades, and then others are made to just drink now, and that's the beauty of Washington.
I totally agree. Smash that like button. We are getting I'm floored today. I mean, and we're just into the second bottle.
We're
just getting started. I'm gonna be literally floored after a few more tastings. But I'm anxious. What do we have next, Heather?
Yeah, this is a really special project. So this is our Golden West project out of Washington State. And what makes it so special that it is Pinot Noir out of Washington State. Charles is the first, House of Smith is the first to bring Pinot Noir plantings in Washington State out of Washington State. Not to say that there's not little smaller projects of some farmers creating Pinot Noir. This is the first go-to market Pinot Noir out of Washington State. This is a project that both Charles and Brendan have been working on in the last 10 years, and we've actually had it come to fruition. This is our second vintage. Really, really very close to Pommard. So the soil types, as well as the latitude, longitude of the vineyard is parallel to Pommard. We're looking at right now about 350 acres planted, so small, but we have room to move up to about 3,000 acres. Small production, about 1,300 cases right now.
Where's Pommard? I'm sorry.
Burgundy.
Yep, sorry, yep. Pommard, Burgundy, France. So we are on the same
parallel
latitude line. That's really cool, guys. That you're getting this wine from Washington State on the same latitude line as Burgundy, Pommard.
And the same soils.
Same
soils too. Mm-hmm. A lot's going into every bottle. This is not grape juice. This is, Holly and I have a running joke. This is glass art.
Glass art. Yes.
This is glass art.
I mean, and then you also get this really
Fist
cool. Yeah, you get this really cool label that really kind of showcases what the vineyard is about. So Golden West is the name of the vineyard, and.
So this is kind of a deviation from Charles's other labels, though.
Yeah. So and you're seeing that also with pop-up too. So
yes.
The black and white is the black and white of what we have for Substance and Vino and K Vintners. But as he's creating new projects, Charles is thinking again that contemporary thinking cap when he's producing the wines. And for Golden West, he was working. He met with a farmer that had about 9,000 acres. And when the farmer, initially met with Charles, he thought that they were going to want to take the land that he has his beans and onions on. And Charles was starts kicking some soil around with Brennan, and it's just outside of the beans, and realized, look at the soil. So I'd be like, holy shit, this is where we're planting Golden West. Look at the soil. And we could definitely share some of the soil types. You saw them side by side, completely similar in style.
Holy shit, guys, this is good wine.
It's good, yeah.
No, really good.
Beautifully light Pinot, lots of leather and cherry, some spice, some earthiness. I mean, this is a very sophisticated style of Pinot.
With a lot of ageability to it. So when we first released it back in March for the 2018, it's had a little bit of time where it keeps continuing. Every time I open a bottle, it's such a pleasant, beautiful surprise because this one is always continually developing the bottle and developing in a really beautiful way. So can store it, or you can certainly drink it now. I usually just drink it now and buy another bottle,
Exactly.
but depends on what your cellar's like.
It has a long finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As the layperson here
Yes.
in the room with a bunch of
Absolutely.
brainiacs.
Still get that.
Right here. Brainiac,
Cranberry,
layperson.
Pomegranate, cranberry leather. Yeah.
Holly, I'm tasting a very long finish. In that long finish, there's a tasting note that's on the tip of my tongue Is it minerality? Is it graphite?
Yeah, minerality, graphite, absolutely.
It is? Okay,
Yeah,
and Heather, you said that you could drink this, just pop and start drinking, like pop up over there. Do you need to decant this?
I certainly would. I think
You
you
would,
could.
okay.
I think you certainly could. There's so many aromatics, especially in the 2018 vintage. I would certainly go ahead and decant it. I think with any of the wines that Charles produces, because everything is so native and pure, it certainly doesn't hurt to decant, to really open up with the expression in the bottle, because there's no manipulation in the winery. And so by the time it gets to you from the shipping, it wouldn't hurt to give it some life.
I've never tasted a Pinot like this, honestly. There was a Pinot mentioned on our last show, but that show had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna have to retape it. And we'll see how we're gonna proceed, because we might have a special guest in a moment. As you know, we are a cat-friendly show, so we'll see if the cat wants to make an appearance.
Let's see which wine she favors today.
Absolutely. Like Holly has 2 cats. They always. They make some kind of appearance on our shows, because we'll never bash a wine on this show, because we always think of the vineyard teams that work so diligently, and so we'll never bash one. We just won't drink it, or we won't call you to come on the show. But we couldn't meet with Heather. I don't know what. It was some COVID thing. I don't know, something. But we really wanted to meet with Heather. So thank you for making the time.
Yeah, no, thanks for
Heather,
having us.
In your busy schedule. Never tasted a Pinot like that. 3 home runs. All these will be on casewinelife.com. Free shipping on most cases. Case discounts, people. No joke. We also have an eBay store. Go to casewinelife.com for now.
I'm just going to say that Pinot makes me want to sit in a really cozy, like, leather recliner, and just kind of sit back with it and enjoy it.
Savor it.
Like that's just savor that nice and slowly, let it evolve and open up in the glass and just enjoy it. Like that's the beauty of that Pinot for me.
So I am tasting in the long finish leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm like London Fog leather or Wilson's. Remember Wilson's?
London, yeah.
London Fog leather, Wilson's.
A little more sophisticated.
Oh, in London. Excuse me, we're from Walla Walla, yo.
Yes.
We're putting Napa to shame.
Yes.
I mean,
we also talk about taking Napa to shame. Let's take Napa to shame with the Substance Cabernet. I really
yes. Some trash talk.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. I mean,
I'll pour this.
We want to talk about a Cabernet to put Washington State, the West Coast, on the map. This is the bomb. So we want to talk about a Cabernet that comes from 4 single vineyards. We want to talk about a Cabernet that's whole berry fermentation. But drum roll, it's 41 days on the skin. So I'm just sorry to tell you,
crazy.
but like 41 days on the skin, 100% whole berry fermentation, no residual sugar, native fermentation again. It's like you're not going to find that for this price. It's freaking delicious.
Yeah.
She's LeBroning right now.
Crazy.
She is LeBroning on you guys right now. I haven't even taken a sniffy sniff, as Gary Vee likes to say, my mentor.
I feel confident enough to put this up against any Napa Cab. It's probably 2 times the price for what this Substance Cabernet is going to be.
Wow.
And
I love the trash talk, Holly. Let's take a sip.
And really, substance for us is the importance of being important, valid, and significant.
Wow, it is an experience, guys. It
Yeah.
truly is.
Crazy
And I'm not a
guy.
Cabernet guy. I'm a Brunello, Primitivo. What else do I buy, Holly? Barolo.
Nebbiolo.
Nebbiolo. Oh, Nebbiolo. The Nebbiolo. But this cab came to play.
This cab is mouth filling. I mean, it just fills and coats.
Without being tannic.
No, and it's juicy.
So it's like enveloping without being tannic. I don't know how you guys did it. You guys are really smart over there. We need help.
Yeah.
At,
I'm continuing to grow with them as well.
We need help at the border, or we need help with COVID, or we need help. You guys are really smart. Whatever you're doing in Walla Walla. Great. Really, really.
Oh, you get those tannins
fantastic.
though. It's
Good. It's definitely a lot of wine.
It creeps up on you.
big. I mean,
It's fruit.
kind of move that wine up into your gums, and it's gonna coat very velvety. It's soft and velvety.
Little like strawberry too, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. All those bright red fruits.
Bright red
for
fruits.
sure.
I don't taste like dark plum much or plummy or
It's very bright.
brambleberry.
It's very bright in the red
Right.
fruit, and then like the mid palate, you get a little bit more of the darker fruit, but like more like a blueberry and like a
There you
very ripe, like
Blueberry.
a blackberry, but very blueberry in that sense.
Yep.
Yep. It's beautiful. So I had to at least go cha-ching with my Cabernet because it's just like, it's really good.
Yes. 2 thumbs up.
This
with
is
cab.
perfect. We've got all those summertime barbecues and 4th of July cookouts, and this is a perfect cab if you're doing burgers or steaks or something like that on the grill. I mean, this is just a perfect wine to enjoy. I mean, some people think, oh well, cab might be too heavy, it's going to be too hot, but this is not so heavy that it's going to like weigh you down. This is a perfect cab for. If you enjoy cabs, this is a perfect one for all those outdoor activities.
I agree, and Heather, the blueberry is really pronounced. It's like a blueberry muffin, maybe. It's a blueberry muffin. You know, sometimes blueberry
breakfast.
Yeah, it's good breakfast wine because sometimes blueberry muffins you get all the fruit, and then as you devour it, you're like, where'd this muffin go? I need more, but your mouth is empty. But no, there's no emptiness.
It goes down like a blueberry muffin.
It goes down like a and there's no emptiness to it. We want more. We want more, Heather. What's next?
Let's bring it. Let's go back to the Italian-inspired, locally produced, and we're going to rock and roll with the Vino Rose. So this is going to be our Cabernet Sangiovese blend, and it always remains 70% Cabernet and the rest Sangiovese. This one is always such a beautiful surprise, especially someone like you. I look forward to having you taste it and seeing what you think, because you're very fancy with your wine.
No one's ever said that to me.
Barolo, all that. You're very fancy with it, which I get that.
No
I
one's ever
respect
said
it.
that to me. Oh my God,
So
you're really inflating my ego now. Christy Atwood of Constellation got a whiff of my ego, but thank you. No, you guys are doing so much for you guys are doing so much against those cliches about California, and I feel like we can really broaden our palates. Life is short. Let's broaden our palates. Let's be inclusive.
And drink really freaking good wine.
And let's drink
That's
really
the thing.
freaking good
Life's
wine.
too short to
and
not drink really good wine.
Yeah, and there's so many varietals, so many grapes.
And you don't need to be expensive to be good.
No.
It's a line of hair.
We'll help you guys. I'm looking. Did you check these prices with accounting, Heather?
I work on those prices.
You do?
So
Oh, okay. But we can call accounting. You need to call accounting. I don't want to announce anything because these are like
solid.
fire sale prices, guys. Wow. Oh my God. I don't even have to put any money on top of this.
Solid.
Sold. Okay, so we're gonna try this one.
Sangiovese, about 70%.
70% cab and the rest is Sancho. Yeah, so it's predominantly the cab, and the cab is coming off of the single vineyard for the for the substance Cabernet. So we're sharing some of the property from that fruit there.
Drinkable.
But really drinkable, really nice. We love it, and like our campaign behind this one, our marketing. I hate to say campaign because we're really not a campaign company. We're too small for that. But marketing is really like vino and pizza. Like we do a vino and pizza for a year kind of program. Keep it simple. Like
Speaking of blueberry on here.
Yeah. Yes.
Lots of that here. But yeah, this would be perfect with Bozzelli's pizza, whether you're having mushrooms or sausage, pepper, whatever.
But it's very subtle.
Yeah, nothing. And again, for you, knowing Sangiovese and bringing it back to what Holly said about Sangiovese is so delicate. So I just think it's super dope what Brennan and Charles are doing with Sangiovese, and then we're gonna taste the Barbera, like for the time, and nothing's burnt, like nothing's overcooked. Yeah. It is just perfect in the bottle of really having the expression of the varietal in Washington State to the bottle.
I'm excited, stoked.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not sweet. I'm just saying it's sweet. The wine is definitely not sweet.
They're
not sweet. No.
This is not she didn't bring any Moscato, guys. Sorry.
Although Vino does make a Moscato, and it's quite delicious.
Why do you?
Even if you don't like sweet wine, that is an addiction.
Holly likes
you get that you get that nice and chilled, super chilled. And it's just it's beautiful, like peachy apricot, bright acidity. It's got this spritz to it that's just fun and exciting on the palate. I mean, that wine,
let Charles surprise you on that one.
That wine is just super tasty. and you could have something really spicy with it. You can't say you can have wine with something super spicy, often, right? Because tannins don't like spice and and things like that. But that's a wine you could do like something really like spicy Thai or something, and chili peppers, whatever it is, and or you can go another direction and have a fruit tart with it, like really nice, like we were talking about summer barbecues, and everyone always has like the big bowl of like the carved out watermelon with all the fruit. Sometimes you put a little orange liqueur in there.
I'll come to your barbecue, Holly, by the way.
Yeah, we're coming.
All right.
Invited, right?
And but the Vino Moscato is super tasty with that. So versatile wine, and kind of you think, oh no, I'm not a sweet wine drinker, but you have that, and before you know it, you've had a bottle.
Okay, it's very hard to get Holly, budding master of wine, excited about she loves wine, but I really respect her palate. So if Dan the beer guy said I really like this wine, I'm like, okay, whatever. But if Donnie's like, if Holly says I really like this wine and she likes the Moscato too, we've got to try this Moscato. Heather did not bring it today, but Heather of course has an open invitation to come back whenever she likes for the show. We've given 6 hours to winemakers. We've given 10 hours. We're going to give Heather 48 hours to talk wine and drink wine. That's a first. We've never done this. That's because mad love for Charles Smith and all he's doing to put Washington State on the map and to stick it to those Cali Cavs.
Hashtag like it.
There you go.
Right.
That's a TikTok clip right now. I can already tell. I'm gonna.
You have a song on your Facebook page. What was it? It was like I like you like. What was that song?
I like you like. I don't know.
Was that song that you had? I don't know. But that's
Sounds
hashtag I like you like.
Okay, we're gonna find that again. I steal a lot of these songs, and I've been warned, and cease and desist notices are just stacking up. But we don't care because Thug Life, that Case Wine Life. Heather, what's next?
We got 2 more wines left. So we're going to roll into House of Smith. So again, this Italian varietal breakout with the Barbera. This is small production. So, we have plenty of wine to sell and bring to your house and stuff. But we want to talk about, again, a really fun project of Barbera on Wildluke Slope and really getting high elevation. Just darn delicious, again, really thinking about, how do we do Italian varietals in Washington State and doing really freaking well, right?
And I feel like this was Charles' ode to Italian table wine.
Absolutely.
Really, Holly?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I feel smart.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you have so there's a Barbera, there's a Sangiovese,
And we have a very small production Primitivo. Very small.
Yeah.
Yep.
For this.
The hearts are falling right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so really just a beautiful expression. It's very delicate again in the bottle. It's very floral in a beautiful, just sort of violet kind of way. Nothing overbearing, ready to drink now. And certainly see more time in the bottle.
There's a ballet going on right now
really
in my mouth. There's a ballet going on in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I silently get when I drink this.
And the 2017 harvest vintage was special.
Yeah, I think 2017 for sure, because we had, kind of a consistent kind of growing season for throughout Washington State. It was just, very precious for what we came through.
And this vintage is still available.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome to know, because the 2017 vintage is special. We picked up this wine when it first came out. It was mentioned in the Washington Post, guys. It's an ode to Italian table wines, Chiantis.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I kind of feel when I'm drinking this,
your
Holly.
Bozzelli's pizza,
with
all
any pizza, bowl of pasta with red sauce, or green sauce, or whatever.
Caprese salad, charcuterie, all that.
But so what I love about Charles is that he understands and respects the land of wine, Italy. And he's showing it through all these expressions.
And doing it really
well. This is so bright on the palate, and the acidity is kind of pinging, right? It's just it's just so
crazy good.
Yeah, it's
Crazy good.
I mean, he's
Really
really showing respect, like kissing the ring, the pinking ring with every SKU here, like really paying homage, not to the French, to the land of wine, Italy. And we love that because we're biased about Italian wines and Italian winemakers. Because
Yes.
It's my show and I'm Italian.
Yes. Solid. So our last wine, it couldn't be a tasting
Speaking
without
of the French.
showing, showing
sorry.
Kay Bittner's.
only from the standpoint of it being Syrah,
Yes, fair enough.
which has
Extract
its-
foot from mouth.
Look
now.
at the color
Has
on that.
its-
That's crazy pretty. And as she's pouring it. Wow. So yeah, it couldn't be a tasting with Charles Smith wines without showing a Kay Bittner's wine. It's just not fair because we circle back to how it all started. It all started out of selling 300 cases Syrah with Astrovan. This is the Milbrandt for us for the Kay Bittner. So I think what really stands out is we're 100% whole cluster fermentation. We're 42 days on the skin. We're only about 1,300 cases of production on this, so that's relatively small. This is really small.
Can I get 10 cases?
Absolutely done.
Yeah, done.
We
They've
have
only
enough-
got 1,300
we
guys.
have
We need to
enough-
snag them while she's here.
Yeah.
She's going to sell like 10 just
I
walking
cover
out.
11 states, so I do get an allocation for the wine, which I do bring, but Virginia
And
was
it's
taken care of.
small.
But it's
Yeah,
small.
it's
It's
small.
small.
So get
This
it when
is
you can get it.
allocated wine, Holly.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you
It
could
is.
educate our viewership on allocated wine.
So when there's small production and there's a lot of demand, then wineries are going to say, okay, well, we know that there's way more demand for the wine than what we can make. And so, but we want as many people as possible to be able to enjoy it. And so, so they may say, and this might be oversimplified, so you can jump in here, but they're going to say to the states that want it, to the distributors that want it, they're going to say, okay, based on the sales history that you've had, based on the demand in your state, we're going to allocate, so many cases to you in Virginia. We're going to allocate so many cases to you in DC. We're going to allocate so many cases to you in Maryland, to Florida, New Jersey, New York, wherever it is. And and it might be that they spread that out. They might say you're going to get half your allocation in the spring and you're going to get half your allocation in the fall, or they might say you're going to get it all at once and that's it. So when it's gone, and then you'll wait till the next vintage.
This is really interesting, guys, because Holly works for the second largest distributor in the country, and Heather is working for a premier supplier. I want to know, Heather, how much politics goes into these allocations? Because Holly kind of touched on the politics.
Sure. At House of Smith, we're really nimble. So I cover 11 states where other suppliers may not be as nimble. And they're like, that state gets this amount, that state gets that amount. I look at it wherever the business is. If this is a wine that we really want to get on board with in Virginia, I just move things around where I don't have the buy-in to that wine. So a lot more nimbleness with House of Smith. And there's no cut
interesting.
dry.
Wow, very
Yeah.
interesting. Like, we're very interested in the business of wine on this show. That was awesome. Huge knowledge bomb there. I want 1,000 likes. We're doing pretty good on views. We broke like 1,000 views on a few shows, but I need more likes, guys. And notifications would help too. Because me and Holly are trying to go to Napa and Walla Walla.
Well, and everybody is always welcome to Jet City. We do have a tasting room.
Wait, what's Jet
in
City?
Seattle.
Oh, wait, Jet
City
City
is
woman! Queensryche! I love it! Taking me back! Blast from the past! I was like, what's
That
Jet
is a blast
City?
from the past.
So my first concert ever was a Queensryche concert.
There it is. See, there's the tie-in.
Jet City, Seattle, Walla Walla,
Yep.
Washington
Well,
State.
there's a tie-in with Charles Smith
Yep.
because
The rock.
he has a lot of musical references in his wine and his names and of the wines, and and he was he's a rock star. He's a band manager, and
Wow.
he I kind of think he looks like Sammy Hagar.
He does look like Sammy
He has
Hagar.
great hair.
And when Heather
Fantastic
said,
hair.
you guys want to come to Jet City,
Come to
I
Jet
got
City.
you.
Taster room
I'm
is
like,
awesome.
here, take my credit card. I don't care. Let's just go now to
yes.
Jet City. Where is your tasting room?
Downtown Seattle.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
so you're, in Walla Walla is
Walla Walla's, you can take flight there or a bus. It's about 3 hours away.
It's
So
about
that's where
3 hours
Charles lives. He has a house in Walla Walla.
But you have a tasting room in Jet City.
Because so that way we can track people in the city
It
as
takes
well.
a long time, 3 hours to drive, or it's but usually easier to fly in because it's across the mountain range, across the.
That would be an epic vlog.
A lot of wineries have their tasting rooms in Seattle.
That'd be epic vlog. We fly into Jet City. We go to the tasting room.
Yeah.
We get trashed there.
That's gonna be the first
Then
time.
we sober up in the car ride, the 3-hour
Bus.
car ride or bus.
Get a bus. We'll take the
Get
bus.
bus.
We'll take the bus.
No, can we Uber? Or?
It's a long ride. We arrange a bus for a group that.
Oh,
will come.
thank you.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
wait. We're getting a bus. I was like, I'll pay for an Uber. Okay, so we're gonna take a bus up to Walla Walla, sober up in the process. And when we get
Or
to Walla
drink in the car.
Or okay,
possibly if you're not
well, we're gonna
driving.
hydrate. We're gonna
If you're not
hydrate.
driving, be responsible.
Of course. No, don't drink and drive. Uber. I'll pay for the Uber guys too. Do not
Check.
drink and drive.
Yeah.
Send the Uber check to me or Holly. You know where she lives. 12345 Airport Road. She gives full tours on Sundays. So, but okay. So this would be an epic vlog, Heather. We need to arrange this somehow.
Yeah. You work through me. I mean, we're always willing to get people to come out, especially someone like yourself or anybody like just connect. We'll set it up to get. We want people to see Washington State. We are Washington is our Instagram. We really want to continue to put Washington State on the map. So rather than going to Napa, please come to Washington State. Let us show you the winery. Let us show you what you're doing. Meet Charles. I mean, he genuinely is the most nicest person you ever meet.
This is a
And
PSA now. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
wants to meet people. He wants people to come out, come find out who we are, and come find out and really drink. You can drink our wines in person in the winery, or head out to Walla Walla and see the actual vineyards in person. Get out of Napa, drink Washington State.
Sign me up, Heather. This has been an amazing tasting today. Epic
Thanks.
tasting. I did not expect this. And also, as you know, if I forget to introduce myself, it means I'm really excited. But there are some shows where I do remember to introduce myself, but that we don't want to dismiss, those winemakers or brand ambassadors after I do that. But nonetheless, I forgot to introduce myself today for obvious reasons. All these wines are amazing.
Because we have K. Vintner Syrah.
We have K. Vintner Syrah. We have this
That's
Golden
why.
West, a Pinot Noir that tastes like no other Pinot Noir I've ever tasted.
Yeah,
I've
there
been
you go.
Pinot Noiring forever, and it was Pinot Noir, right, or Pinot Noir, but I've been Pinot Noiring forever. I've never tasted a Pinot Noir like this. This will definitely be on CaseWineLife.com. This Cabernet blew me away. Did not taste like a Cabernet. I'm not a big Cab fan. Holly's a bubblehead. But House of Smith 2017 vintage is still available. I did not know that. That's huge. What else, Holly?
Pop up, starting the day.
Bubbles.
Today was like
Pop
Starting
up.
the day
Open
with
the
bubbles.
palate.
Pop up flossed on us with the pop up cap, reminiscent of a beer where you just want to get instant gratification.
Drink the whole thing.
Drink the whole thing. There was no intimidating foil.
Very easy to do.
Yes, very easy to do. I love that. A lot of creativity went into this. And Lloyd Ogilvy used to say, the master of marketing, used to say, if it doesn't sell, it's not creative. And I think Charles and you, Heather, you guys really understand that. And I loved what you said earlier in the show. Rewind, turn on notifications. Right now, she said, we don't need anything, we create. Mm-hmm. I love that sentiment. No, it's not sentiment, that's attitude. Mm-hmm. That's culture. I love that about this company. And I just, are you guys hiring?
we are expanding. We're a small company. I mean, we're at 50 people, and that's including winery sales team. So we're expanding.
They're a small business.
We're a small business. We're one family. That's again that House of Smith. We're all living in the house together, and we're continuing to grow. And thanks for this opportunity, because opportunities like this allow us to be able to showcase our wines and really tell the story about who we are and what's in the bottle.
Okay. Awesome. So you're continuing to go. We're gonna wrap this up. I know you're super busy. Holly's very busy. Holly's phone. She's got like 4 iPhones. They never sleep.
True
They're
story.
always on. Yes. Yeah. It's blinking right now. But does our viewership need to know about anything in the pipeline with House of Smith? Are you guys going public? Can you give us any inside scoop because we're the cool kids. People that watch my show are the cool kids. We'd like to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Charles, you never know until you know. So certainly nothing in the pipeline that I could share at this point, but there's always something in the pipeline.
There's something coming, guys.
Charles doesn't sleep. He's creator, and he has to continually be moving, the mind to create. So stay tuned and keep following us. No talks of public. We are a family. We'll continue to be family owned. Nothing in the works of selling anything more. That's kind of behind for where we are, and this is the house, and we live in it.
Awesome. There you go, guys. Amazing show today.
The house we live in.
The house we live in. I mean, I think I have a title now. Good. I don't have to think about it. The house we live in. That's how we're going to entitle this show today. Thank you, Heather Shapiro of House of Smith, for coming on. Open invitation to come back whenever you like. I think we have a Moscato show brewing. No pun intended. Holly's really excited about that. Holly, anything you'd like to share?
No,
we
just
wrap up today?
casewinelife.com and buy any of these wines and you'll be happy.
Yes,
Do it.
thank you. And you don't have to buy them from us. We want to, like you said, I mean, if you don't want to buy it, we don't really care. We only are interested in wines that we like, that Holly likes. Of course, Heather likes. She wouldn't be this involved with this and this impassioned about this wine and this company and in the passion. If you haven't felt the passion by the end of this episode, then please
Drink some pop-up.
No, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. If you have not felt the passion that goes into every bottle of House of Smith, unsubscribe. I don't even want you as a subscriber. I'll just buy some subscribers. Wink, wink. I would never do that. I mean, we only have a few right now. But thank you, Heather, for coming on. Awesome. So much. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Holly.
right. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Take care, guys. Drink responsibly. Right, Holly?
Cheers.
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud.